Hello, people. It's your boy Usmaan back again with another Rival Fan podcast. Today we have got a special show. It's the red team beating the white team, the North London Derby. Who is the biggest team in North London? Has it finally shifted? All those questions will be answered. To be honest, I'm intrigued to hear what the boys are going to say regarding that, man. As always, get your questions in. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. As you can see at the moment, my co-host Kojo is not here. Man's dipping at Martial yesterday, but it is what it is. I have to get that in before someone else ranks me. But, if you don't laugh at yourself, someone's going to do it. But listen, let me introduce here. Right,
there
let
he
me
is.
introduce
Hey, Moose.
guest.
Hey, Kojo.
The red corner, first and foremost. We have got our regular. He's finally back from his cave. Man turned his phone off. Man went AWOL. Man didn't turn off. We got Ahmed. Ahmed, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. Doing okay. Recovering, as always.
It's good to see that he's still breathing. That's the main thing, innit? Because I didn't know what happened to you.
Yeah.
Because normally I get texts off you every Sunday night. Talking about Man United.
Chill out, bro.
Obviously, we came back somehow from the dead, but you guys obviously didn't. And also, I've got you some backup in the form of Jordan. Jordan, thank you for joining us. How you doing, brother?
Good evening, I'm good, man. Hi to all the people apart from the Spurs fan. Hope everyone's good. Everyone's feeling well. We're good. Let's do this.
I love how you put the good evening in there. Do you know what I mean? Emery-esque.
Oh my God,
I like it.
Listen, Emery might be doing better. We'll have to get onto that shortly. But listen, in the white corner, some would say the better side of North London. I'm not saying it, some would say it. We have got Kish. How you doing, Kish? Regular.
Yeah, very, very good. Yourself, you okay?
Yes, not too bad. I know you're ready for this one.
Good.
I know
I
you're
am ready.
You don't like
I'm ready
Arsenal,
for this one.
and obviously you and Ahmed have had this back and forth for a while. And also special guest appearance from Fua and also in the white corner. How you doing, brother?
All good, man. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Absolute pleasure. And as you guys know, my co-host basically ready to shit still as much as you possibly can. Man's already got the weights in the background until someone gets cheeky. AK Theory man in midfield. Kojo, let's go for that. What you saying? You recovered from yesterday or what?
Bro, I'm good, man. I'm all good, man. I slept like a baby. When you don't think about Ole, you sleep well.
Yeah, to be honest, I woke up at 4 a.m. and I seen that Martial missed again, and I was like, "Bloody, I would have been through." But listen, it is what it is. It's not about Manchester United. We'll get to that a bit later on. It's Arsenal against Tottenham Hotspur. We're going to start with Arsenal first. Obviously, this is a huge 3 points for you guys, with relegation zone and all that good stuff. Jordan, we'll start with you first and foremost as you're the guest.
No, I want to hear from Moose. First. Kick off with
Why?
Moose. I like other Arsenal fans first.
Okay, say no more. Moose, to be fair to
You might not like it, man. You might not like it.
Moose, speak with your chest, mate. It's
no. Chill out. I want to say my actual opinion. Chill out.
Hey, Moose,
yes,
have you seen them flying because you were talking about Aubameyang not scoring goals and bro, what's happening? What's happening, man?
Bro, listen, it's out of form. You know what I'm saying? I accept that. Don't let me go off on a tangent about Aubameyang right now with it. But obviously, with Tottenham. Now with Tottenham,
go on.
You what?
No, sorry. Go
on. All right. So obviously, there's a lot of L's going on at Arsenal right now, especially in the last 4 or 5 games. But obviously, since the Man United game, but we have to acknowledge the facts. Yeah, based on form, we ain't got the form right now. They're on form. They're top of the league. Say what you like, but it's a North London derby, so obviously we can't really take the form too serious. Yeah, you might be going off on a good high right now, but I'll be honest with you. Listen, check that covered out, man. I allow you, man. But you know what it is, though? What I like about Arsenal is, actually, I don't like about it, but one thing I can say is that right now our away form isn't that bad, and also when we are, going through a bad patch, we can turn up against the big boys. So obviously, I hate to say that Tottenham are the big boys.
I was just about to say
right now. Well, the way they're behaving and they got Mourinho, the way they. I can't deny certain things in it, but at the same time, Partey could be there that weekend. I'm not gonna lie, he's knocking on the doors on everyone. So obviously, if he does turn up and play, and the way that it's coming across here, it's like he actually wants to get in there for the game. And obviously, Kane's out injured, so we don't know if Bale's going to be playing for the full 90 minutes if he's going to be playing. So you know
Kane's
what it is.
Now injured.
I heard he's injured, bro.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
We're selling him dreams. Don't worry, we're giving
Yeah,
him.
this is
it's a really
You got to give him a little.
Yo. I don't. All I care about is whether Party plays or not, because obviously the bigger all our best. Well, I'm not gonna say best performance, but like we play best, when we don't have Parties there, and obviously the game steps up.
It's either Party or Jack and Johnny's a bit of an upgrade. So I'm saying so. No, fair play to Party. He absolutely bossed Man United. So gonna put respect on his name, and he parted us off. So fair play. And
if he's on it, you know what I'm saying. And obviously Arteta's Arsenal through and through. He knows what this the derby means, innit? Like, you know what? Ignore all the L's that's happened. Yeah, this is a big game, and obviously, if he doesn't if he doesn't get at least a draw, obviously, like I said to you by text, it's like what Lee Judge said, he'd be a dead man walking, because you know all the pressure will really start to kick in if he flops. It depends how he flops as well.
Arteta's obviously job security a bit later on, but listen, in case you've heard what Ahmed said, I'm going to do one each and make it fair enough. In case you've heard what he said, his class is a big club. How do you feel about that?
Big club, chill out. One of the big boys.
That's what I heard.
Bro. Never will I ever say they're a big club. Chill out. Maybe when I'm in my 50s and that, innit? But not now, bro. Not now.
Kishore, what do you reckon?
I spoke to you about this earlier this week, where I said that this so far is our biggest game this season, and you kind of laughed at that. And I was like, I'll tell you why I think this is one of our biggest games. Couple of reasons. First and foremost, no one really saw that we'd be in this position. If you asked us at the beginning of the season, that Tottenham after 9-10 games will be top of the league, we all would have laughed. I'll be honest. Even as a Spurs fan myself, I struggle to see that, in particular after the Everton game, the first game of the season. So, the fact that we're there, we've done amazing already. However, in the last couple of games that we've played, so when we played against Chelsea and when we played against Man City, the onus really wasn't on us. It was kind of, we could sit back, we could defend deep and wait on the counter to break down these teams. And that's what happened against Man City, and against Chelsea. We had a couple of opportunities to do the same thing. The difference in this game is the onus is on us now to attack. So I'm intrigued to see how Mourinho goes about this game, because if he does a similar tactic to what he's done in the last couple of games, which is sit back, give Arsenal the ball, and then go out and go for it, I think that doesn't give the right message for me. I think he now needs to show that he needs to go for it a bit more, in my opinion. This is a game where, on paper and based on results, we need to show, where we stand at the moment in the league. For me, I think nothing more than a win as a Spurs fan right now, I'd be satisfied with. I get sometimes form goes out the window when it's a London derby, and kind of you take everything away from that. But if we're truly going to show where we're currently at, then again, who knows? But I think for us to truly show where we're at in the league at the moment, this game for us, nothing less than a win. We have to win. We have to win.
No, but I don't think this is on us to even play the onus or whatever, because you look at the last one that we battered them. It was similar. It was on Arsenal.
2-1.
Listen, call it what you want. We went home with 3 points. You go home with the possession. We go home with the 3 points. I'm happy with that. Say nice. But here's the thing. What I'm saying on what Keish said there, is the one thing we've seen with Arsenal right now is they're struggling. This is their worst start ever. What is it now? 5 losses already. 3 home defeats they've had. Now they're coming to us, and all of a sudden, you think they're going to be good enough to kind of play good football against us. I think Jose is going to almost set that challenge to them to say, let's see what you can do. You're struggling for goals right now. You ain't got that creativity in your midfield right now. Ceballos ain't bringing it. Ozil ain't there. So let's see what you can do. Because our defensive, one thing we've shown, we've played 3 of the last top 6. We've won 6-1, 2-0, and drew away to Chelsea. And every single one of them, we've come there playing come break us down football. And guess what? You can say, it's the onus is on us to attack and everything. Who's the highest scorers in the league? You see it. So right now, it's not enough to show anything.
I got tears in my eyes after you said that. I'm following you on Twitter right now, innit? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
here's the thing.
I got tears.
For me, right now, it's the perfect time to play Arsenal. They're at their lowest ebb. They're struggling in every capacity of their team. So I want to bring this. Let's see what you lot can bring on Arsenal. Let's see if you can bring the big gunners that you are. Let's see it.
Yeah, we see this. Yeah.
My bro.
We see this.
But yeah,
there you go.
Well, I would let Jordan have his second. Patiently there, drinking, let a man speak.
All right.
Jordan, come on, drop the facts on these brothers.
All right, cool.
What you got, man? What you got?
So first of all, Moose deserves an Academy Award for that optimism speech there earlier on. Boy. And if Keith thinks that Tottenham are going to attack and play attacking football with Jose, it's a myth. I agree with Fuad. Forget that. Jose doesn't have to prove anything. He wants to win the game. He will stink the place out and win 1-0. So if you think that he will change his mentality to prove anything, bro, you got the wrong manager there, B. He ain't doing that.
I don't mean in terms of mentality. I mean in terms of we have to show a bit more onus in this game than the last two games, because I do get it. Chelsea away from home, you're playing a strong City team where naturally, if you play you attack, we attack, then you're going to get absolutely, outdone by in terms of possession and kind of creativity. But I mean, we need to show a bit more positivity than what we have done in the previous two games, because if you just sit back and you just wait for the other team, if you look at Arsenal, they're ready-made to have a defensive team.
I'm not sure
do you know what I mean?
I think that you can defend the same way you've defended and played against City and Chelsea against us and still win the game. So I don't think you have to. I don't think the onus is on you to put it on us. I think what Fuad is right. I think the pressure is all on Arsenal. I think the smart
Arteta has to win this.
I don't think he does. I think he has to not lose this. If I would take a draw now. And I think if you ask him slightly, he would as well. I don't think you'll see Partey this before the new year. So I'll be very surprised if Partey plays on the weekend. I think he's out to the new year, apparently. I think that the smart money's on Spurs. The whole derby thing, I think, is irrelevant because there's no fans. I know there's like 2,000 Spurs fans, but so it's not really a derby. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think the derby element is relevant either. I think what's relevant is form and intent. The form is with Spurs. But I think if Arteta is, and this is my fear about Arteta, if he is able and open to changing and tweaking his system, Arsenal have got a chance. But I fear that he won't, and it could be a problem. There's a lot of talk about, if Arsenal lose this game, he could be sacked. And I know you want to get us that later on. I don't think whatever happens on Sunday, he gets sacked. But I think he could be a dead man walking after Sunday's game if it goes badly wrong. I think this is a big game for Arteta, and I think that Kane didn't play today. I think he'll be fine on Sunday. Aubameyang's not playing tonight. I think he'll play on the weekend as well. And I think this is going to be a game basically of can Arsenal resist the firepower of Spurs and take the chances that they're going to come their way. In every game, you get a chance to score in it. The question is the one or two that we probably will get. Can you take at least one of those chances? And that's my fear. Who's going to create the chances? But before even creating the chances, can you stop Spurs at the other end? The big thing about Arteta for me, and the reason why I rate him is that he's got us going into these games, these bigger games. Well, me anyway, knowing we won't be 3-0 down come halftime. That's one thing I do know about going to big games now. Now he's got to address: can you actually hurt the other team in the other, in their half of the field? So it's a big game for Arteta. The smart money's on Spurs. It'd be very Arsenal to win the game and find some way. But no, the Spurs are the overwhelming favourites for sure.
One thing I'd add to that though is just where the football he was saying as well, where we've got the dangerous going forward. I think that's the one difference with Spurs and Jose's system is the reason why I think he can allow his team to kind of play so defensively is because he knows on the counter-attack, he's got arguably the most dangerous pairing in the Premier League right now. And especially form-wise with what those two are doing, if he can sit back and just see if that Arsenal defense can hold those two back, because I'll be fair to you, Chelsea last week did a fair good job of it. They kept them pretty quiet.
I don't know. Lucky on Sunday, personally. I were lucky.
I thought, Jose was happy. Jose was happy to take a result. That's how I saw it in the second half. He had no interest in attacking whatsoever, and Chelsea kind of lacked ideas. But for me, I think if those two in a North London derby, if there's any two players I bank on turning up, it's Son and it's Kane, definitely.
Yeah,
my concern. Sorry, my concern is the midfield. I just don't think Arsenal have a good enough midfield. And as I mentioned,
that's the difference. Chelsea had a Kante in CDM in that game. I can't see, especially with Partey injured, I can't see Xhaka or El Neni having that in them to stop either of those two. In my opinion, that's going to be the issue for you
and
guys.
The form Ndombele's on at the minute.
Yeah, that's
Partey is a huge miss for you guys. Even early doors, he's massive.
It might not be.
Nah, he's not playing that. He should risk him.
Listen. It's down to the medics on the side.
Risk him. He shouldn't risk him. I don't think
the thing is the thing. Sorry,
if he's on it.
I actually, and this is not even me talking as a biased Arsenal fan. If I was Jose Mourinho, I would rest Kane, and I tell you why. Because if Spurs want to win this title, the key to them winning the title is Harry Kane. We know Harry Kane is going to get injured at some point in the season. Preserving Harry Kane for the entirety of the season, I think he can probably beat us. And here's the thing: I think they can beat us without Kane. I think they can win the game without Kane.
Bloody hell.
You really don't respect Kane. We know Kane will get injured at some point, and then your title is done.
Yo, Usmaan, use this as the video, for the trailer for this. Just make sure,
I'm just being real.
This is gorgeous.
It's actually a compliment. I'll be looking at.
I think that's looking almost too long term, though. I think having rested him kind of today, even though we kind of drew, it's a bad result. I think one thing I've seen this season is whenever we kind of have those bad results, whether it be Everton, the midweek against Antwerp or whatever, West Ham, we always the next game seem to fire up and be on it. And I think with the derby coming in, with Kane's record in the derby, there is no way I don't think Kane himself.
I can't see Mourinho. I can't see Mourinho not starting because Mourinho in the past in the Premier League, he's always been a front runner. Where if he gets that early lead, he starts motoring on, and I think Kane is so vital towards that.
And Jose loves it when a player plays through injuries as well. Remember that. Jose doesn't like it when these soft guys pull out like Martial and these Luke Shaws.
The difference is with the Chelsea we won the Premier League with, he had a Drogba that he knew at the back end of the season would be fit. There's no point going 15 points clear at Christmas and then Kane's out for 2 months in February. So I'm saying,
I hear it.
You know what I mean?
I hear it.
It's actually a compliment. It's a compliment.
I hear it.
I'm saying you might even need Harry Kane on the weekend. I'd be thinking, you know what I mean? If he's got a knock, for me, Spurs have managed Kane.
We drew 3-3. We drew 3-3 We drew 3-3 to an Arsenal today without Kane. There's no chance I'm risking it against him.
I need to get boosted.
What did you want me to say, bro?
Kojo's just got the popcorn out, man. Kojo's got the popcorn out. That's it.
I was going to ask Kojo.
I was going to ask Kojo a question, but me and Kojo will chat at the end. Listen, everyone's talking about, we're all talking about Spurs' threats, right? But we've got to talk about Arsenal's threats because the last time you played against Lacazette, right? He always tends to do well. I know him and Aubameyang they know what it means for this game. Look, I think you beat him 4-2 not so long ago when Lacazette eventually was scored. You've seen the passion on his face. These mans know what it means to play this game. Obviously, you got a fashion merchant Bellerin as well. He knows what it means to play this game as well. But
Bellerin against Son. I'm not too confident with that one.
Obviously not, but in terms of what Arsenal can possess as well, Aubameyang hasn't scored in ages, don't get me wrong, but this could be one of those moments that everyone just forgets. If he turns up this game and he's more than capable of doing so, everyone's going to completely forget about his record because all they're going to care about is him scoring against, obviously, Spurs. So in terms of what Arsenal can offer going forward, we've spoken about how Spurs can attack you guys. What is that Arteta needs to do? Because you guys aren't scoring any goals. Like, your goal, without taking the piss, but even if it was against us, your goal of the month was a penalty against Man United. Like, that is disgraceful for Arsenal Football Club. The one team growing up was the best team in terms of footballing ability. So, like, in terms of what you're expecting from Arsenal, Moose, like, what does it need to do, man? Because you need to play more attacking, surely.
Listen. This problem that we have right now, is not going to get fixed overnight. There are certain players, like, look, even from last season, like, even when we played Ozil, we didn't play Ozil. We were playing out wide. We were using our fullbacks, and obviously we had players like Saka, we had players like Martinelli coming through the ranks, and obviously Pepe coming in every now and then. So obviously, I don't know what Arteta can do in the short term. Like in the last game, if you look at the last game, Willian was probably our best player, and he's just saying consistently average. Like, and everyone else is just
average.
Like, terrible.
Wow, that's
is that wait? Because he's doing all the defensive work here, and you know he might not be penetrating teams, but he's not really playing like god awful. Do you get coming from? Whereas other people, you know, you can't really defend them. But I generally don't know what he can do other than, you know, just mate. It's
a belief and intent. I think Arteta's got to get into the players. I think he's got to get into the players' head. They've got to believe that they can progress up the pitch, they can get crossing, they can score a goal. The moment the team aren't believing they can score goals, and there's not many creative players in the team at the moment, so that doesn't help either. But I think if you believe something, I think it helps you. I think it helps you on the pitch. The moment the team just are looking at like
Jordan, does form go?
Wait.
We hear it all the time, don't we? For this game in particular.
Yeah, I don't buy into that stereotype really. I mean, especially when the form is this that wide. Do you know what I mean? Spurs are on fire and Arsenal are awful. So I don't buy that kind of lazy Sky Sports format the window chat.
Do you know what it is? The key word you said out that is belief. And I think that's what your players have lost at the moment. Troy Deeney said something on TalkSport yesterday, which I actually agree with massively. Aubameyang's the best example. Aubameyang now is no longer making those runs in the box that he was making last season or the beginning of this season, and that's not because he doesn't want to. It's the fact that he's lost faith in the wingers and the attackers to provide him with that space. So when you see Willian, for example, he's not putting the ball in the box in the areas that can hurt you, and that's just one example of many. And Deeney said it the best way, that it doesn't matter how good of a player you are, how good of a striker you are. Eventually, if you keep making those runs and it no longer happens, you're just going to lose that confidence. And then you're going to look for space out on the wider wings rather than being in the box where you can hurt the opposition.
I agree.
Two things.
Sorry, go on.
I'll let you.
Moose, go on.
Two things I want to say. Yeah, obviously, I think I forgot what I was going to say. You know, I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry,
I remembered. Yeah, obviously, last year. Because I had two things to say, and I got mixed up in it. Obviously, first thing, Guendouzi, we don't really mention him that much in it because obviously, you know, we won the FA Cup and the Community Shield without him. But obviously, the lack of creativity is because of missing players like Guendouzi.
He's not an attacking midfielder, and the thing is, right?
No,
chill out. Listen. He
created chances for him.
Listen.
He still created chances for him.
Okay. Yeah, but no, but my problem is you can't keep talking about players that are no longer. So Ozil is the biggest one, right? People go on about it every day. He's not getting in the squad, whether you like it or you don't. He ain't going to play. Guendouzi, whether you like it or not, he's not in the team because Arteta chose to send him out on loan. So you've literally got to play with what you have. Do you know what I mean? It's like us talking about, I'm not talking about it now, but Dele Ali, if we have the Ali from 2-3 years ago, why isn't he playing? But you've got to stick with what you've got. Do you know what I mean? You've got to stick with what you have. I get it with Guendouzi. I get what you mean, but he's not there now. Do you know what I mean? So,
do you know what I would do if I was Arteta? I would take the team. I would tell the team within the first 10 minutes, I want 5 shots on target.
Yeah, just exactly.
From the kickoff, if you're within 30, 25 yards, just get shots off. I think that would help the league.
And I think what you said
there probably won't get shots off.
Because right now the form. You lot have nothing to lose. I don't see why he doesn't even switch up the formation to a 4-3-3 to try and even be more fluid and be more creative. Because right now, I feel like he's just playing this kind of sit-back, low-block football and keeps using the excuse of, we've been so bad defensively over how many years or whatever, but or a soft touch. It's like, absolutely. In this derby game now, for me, I feel like he's got to grab it by the scruff of the neck and be like, all right, do you know what? Let's go. Saka, whatever midfield he thinks is best, because I don't know, it's almost like picking the best of a bad bunch, I guess. But at the minute, I feel like there's nothing to lose in this game for Arsenal, except kind of the dead man walking situation for him. He's got to go for it, in my opinion.
Listen, I'm gonna make a case for Arsenal, right? Because I've got to throw this out here.
There's a nice question though. There's a question.
No, I see. I'm gonna put it in a second. Right, okay, I'm gonna make this case for Arsenal, right? Before Man United played Arsenal, obviously we played both, Spurs absolutely humiliated us. But when we played Arsenal, right, going into that game, all the Arsenal fans I spoke to, Man United going to win, Man United just beating PSG, Man United just beating RB Leipzig. In fact, it was just RB Leipzig, actually. It was just beating RB Leipzig 5-0. And then you guys were on terrible form. Then again, I know Spurs are a completely different commodity to us at the time because we weren't as good. But the way you guys set up in that game, I think you got to emulate that. You was very resilient.
That was because of Partey, though.
No, but yeah, I know. I'm saying that. But in terms of the way he set you up defensively, you were very. Coach is shaking his head straight away. They're not better, but they were very compact. They're cutting off all the passing lanes. And Spurs are obviously a brilliant team. However, if you can somehow stop the supply to Kane and Son, at the moment, nobody else is really doing anything. Like in terms of, I know in Dembele is, but in terms of all the attacking players creating chances, it's mainly Spurs, Kane and Son doing all the sort of creating chances.
Hey, Sergio Reguilon, my Donny on left back, on mustard. The way he's been serving it this season, right foot, left foot, up top, down low, how you want it, bro. I deliver that.
He's a problem. He's a problem. He's a problem.
Coach just loving it.
Coach is a prick.
And then just park the bus and play the ball into the channel and hope for best. Jose parks the bus, Spurs, Arsenal park the bus. It's going to be a draw in it for me personally. Cody, let's get you in. Let's get Coach in because Coach is loving this too much. So am I, to be fair. I'm not gonna lie. But Coach, let's just get your thoughts in it. What do you reckon in terms of how Arsenal should approach it? It's quite obvious what Spurs need to do. They need to go on. For me personally, I think I do agree with Kish. I think they're not going to, but I think if Spurs play the way they did against Man United, I think you could potentially just blow them away in the first 30 minutes. That's how good you are at the moment.
Don't forget United though. You lot went down to 10 men. And it was 2-1 at the time. I know we were still 10 up, but
even with 11 men, you would have smoked us that day. Man.
Agree.
It was just going to happen.
True.
And the thing is, even if Arsenal approach, if Arsenal approach the game the way they did against us, they're going to get smoked again because we had to be very bad, and they weren't even that good. And then they got a penalty, which was.
You're salty, bro. You're salty.
No, it's not salty. It's facts.
All right. Calm.
Listen, let me land. We were crap. You weren't great, but you still won the game. Correct? Good. Right. You do that against Spurs, they're smoking you. You're talking about handling Harry Kane and Son. When have you ever done that? This is the problem. Arsenal have supposedly gotten better defensively. And the facts are, the goals you've conceded this season are still comical. They're still embarrassing. You can go back to
Aston Villa game.
One instant. That's the Villa game. Perfect. I was going to go somewhere else, but let's go there. When you and Rob Holding was watching Barkley do nothing with the ball, he's doing cha-cha slide.
Actually, now you mentioned Aston Villa game. Yeah, you're right. Again.
Is that kind of thing?
They're not holding on, Kane.
Is that kind of thing that doesn't impress me about Arsenal? So Partey indeed is a big loss because Partey
Holding's too busy complaining about Traore. To be honest, that's the problem.
Yeah. He rattled him.
Do you know what I mean? That is great. That is great.
What Spurs are doing so well is to get Reguilon and Serge Aurier so well involved in attacks now, and Højbjerg is holding that line with the defense so well. So Tanguy and Dembele is enjoying. When Lo Celso comes on, he's enjoying. Sissoko is using his engine to go back and forth. So when Aurier goes forward, he fills in for him. It's working, and he's starting to get a bit more attacking, even though it's not completely attacking football from Spurs, but it's there, but it's structured and it works. And one thing I don't like about Arsenal, forget about just under Arteta, Emery and the later years of Wenger, is your marking is an absolute shambles. And the way Son makes runs way past Kane and the way Kane can find him, I have a feeling that you man are just going to be left for dead. So the only way you're getting a result out of this game is by waking up defensively and sitting back and hoping you can get one counter attack to get that 1-0. Almost similar to how did you win that game when Ramsey scored in his final season for you at White Hart Lane or the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
I think they did.
You won that game, didn't you? If you get a result like that, if you get a result like that, that's a job well done. But right now, if I'm being completely blunt with it, this ain't no banter thing. I don't see you getting any positive result.
Jordan, we've got a question for you, brother. From Benji. What is this myth regarding Partey comes in, you'll start winning?
Ghana power.
Who said that?
Ghana power.
Did I say that?
Ghana power. Don't worry.
Yeah, who said that?
I'm asking you a question. Like, obviously, he's asking you a question. Like, what are your thoughts on it? Obviously,
Partey's a bad boy, but he's one player. and it's a little bit redundant discussing him anyway because I don't think he will play on the weekend.
Yeah.
But he's a loss because I think he's probably our best player. And that's within 5 games of being at Arsenal. You know what I mean? But he's not there. So I personally think the way to beat Tottenham on the weekend, you're not going to do it with the players you've got because they're not as good. You're not going to do it because you're not on form. You've got to break their spirit. And I think you do that by outworking them. I think you've got to frustrate them. You've got to get to the hour mark, or even half time, and make Spurs know, oh shit, we're in a game. We can't get through to them. We can't get crosses off. We can't get they're on us. They have to go in at half time thinking, damn, we got a plan B. We got to do something else here because we can't get through them. That's the way I think Arsenal win this game. They've got to make Spurs think that this ain't working. They're on us. They're working on. And then you'll get one chance, and you've got a player like Aubameyang that can hopefully take it, albeit off form. That is the only way I see Arsenal winning this game. They're not going to win it with better players or form. They've got to break Spurs' spirit and make Spurs actually know we're in a game here. We've got to step up. Otherwise, it could be peak.
Yeah, you've said obviously the way you need to try to approach the game, but just to wrap it for all of you guys, how do you think the game's going to pan out? And obviously your score prediction. So you said what you need to do, but where's your head saying? Obviously that's your heart saying we need to do this obviously to get a result. But
I think. Shall I go first?
We'll start with you. What do you reckon?
Arsenal win this game 1-0 because it's Spurs. So no matter how much form Spurs are on, or the poor form of Arsenal, it's Spurs, isn't it? It's Spurs.
Wait.
They will mess up at some point.
I thought you were taking form serious though. I thought you were taking form serious, and now out the window.
Yeah, but I also take 60 years of Spurs history serious as well. This is Tottenham.
Just a minute ago.
My guy, fam.
My great grandmother.
I love that.
Is that the time? Is that the time?
I don't understand where this energy came from.
You were what the hell?
Let me tell you.
We could beat you without Kane.
Yeah. No, you can. You can. Let me tell Moose. My great grandmother was celebrating when Spurs won their first league. Yeah, she was doing the butterfly and the bogle in 1930, whenever it was. This is Spurs. No matter how dog shit Arsenal are, we've always got a chance. If this was Chelsea, even United, I might have been like, boy, they're on poor form, but boy, it's Spurs.
You have hope.
Thank you, fam. Thank you.
Let me say this, yeah. United tried to do that this season, and they got 6-1. I'm just saying. That was a classic Fergie line. It's just
in it, man.
And they got 6-1 this year. Let the record show.
My final point, though, is I think this is a big game for Spurs as well, because if they do beat Arsenal on the weekend, I will take them seriously as title contenders. I will be like, okay, you got a point at Chelsea, you touched up United, you beat Arsenal, you beat City. I'll be like, okay, they're on smoke. So they have to win this game against a poor Arsenal side. They have to win.
It's not just that. It's December now. So we can kind of guess what's like using the title race. And right now, Tottenham are top in it. So let's just hope they don't Spurs it up, right?
Are you Moose?
I'm sorry about it.
I've seen this film before.
January still to come. February European football comes back in, bro. There'll be many checkpoints to check off. Trust me, it ain't gonna be that easy. Any team who's won the Premier League should know.
It's the first time you met me. It's the first time.
We've done it too many times in our life.
But listen,
man.
I would go 2-0 win, dustpan and brush. I would say 2 goals in the first half. Second half will just be a sit back, and then let's see what Arsenal can do, type of thing.
Right, Kish, what do you reckon? Obviously, Jordan going for the 1-0, Fuad going for the 2-0. So a lot of clean sheets here, which I'm surprised about. Kish, what do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, I'm going for 3-0 Spurs. I'm really confident for this game. I can see Mourinho putting a finger up at Arsenal after this game, so I can see a comfortable 3-0 win, to be honest.
Wow, all right. Looks like the Spurs players are coming in the fancy football. Ahmed, what do you reckon, man? Obviously, Jordan's gone for Arsenal, but you've got a back here now, isn't it, surely?
Yo, listen, I like to be realistic in it, so I'm going, yeah. Coach Kojo, I told you in the summer you're my next victim, so lie back down in it. You know what I mean? I told you that, bro. I told you that, fam. 1-0 to the Arsenal. 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Where are you in the table, sir?
I don't mind, bro. I don't mind. That's what I said.
Right now, you're the best team in your borough.
We got
even in North London. It's okay. It's okay, please.
What's this score?
It's okay.
All right. Score prediction, is generally 1-1 because of your man here.
After all of that,
because of you, man, I'm saying 2-1 now. I don't care.
You let them rule you in. Leave my one. I believe my scoreline. I believe my scoreline.
Bro, I'm the real man.
You don't believe it. They threw you in.
Listen, I'm a jinx for Aubameyang right now, innit? So I'm trying to be humble with Aubameyang, not trying to talk about him, you know what I'm saying? So that he can. I don't see score more than one, you know what I'm saying, bro? I'll be real right now.
Jordan, you need to see the clip that Cole just got of him. Basically, the prediction video, Aubameyang's on a drought, and I've been sat there in his chair, proper nice and comfy, saying, "Listen, pigs are gonna fly when Aubameyang stops scoring goals, mate." And then coach sent him the video saying,
"Did I say that?"
Oh god! So that's why he's trying to humble himself, because everything he said, he also said Arsenal going to win the Champions League in the next 3 years. So a lot of things he's saying are a bit out there.
Even I wouldn't go that far,
bro. Wait. You are misquoting me. I said, yeah. Within 3 years, we are going to start challenging. We're going to be out of the Europa League this year.
You're a liar.
We want receipts.
Yeah. Usmaan, I beg you, just clip it, bro. I said we're going to be challenging. Of course, man. Winning. All right. I don't know about that, bro. I retract from that, man. I retract from that.
I'm going to finish on two topics, obviously related to your teams. The most generic one that always gets asked, right? Is it fine? Is North London finally white? I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Are you mad? Never. No.
All right, Mr. 1-1, calm down.
I never show you, man, this in there, but it will always be red. It will always be red.
Fuad, we'll come to you first, because obviously,
I'll be real with you. Yeah, I find this like is North London white, is London white, all kind of. It don't matter, really and truly. Like, until we're winning silverware, I don't want us to be crowned anything. Until we're crowned Premier League champions, that's the only crown I want to have. Like, we've been finishing on top of Arsenal. Yeah, no. Get 3. You couldn't even get back-to-back ones. So, please, humility.
Hang on.
Wait, Usmaan,
hang on. Don't give me first division.
Hang on.
Back-to-back.
I've got to come back. Have you done back?
Have you
done back?
Season unbeaten.
1912, your league. Allow it, bro. Allow it.
Oh my God.
Man's chatting about banging. Man's chatting about Sexton, Jennifer Lopez 2 nights in a row, and he's still got Doc Cotton, and he's allow it.
Man said J-Lo.
Allow it. You were doing so well. Match them back to back. Where's the back?
Oh my God.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. It ain't about whether North London's white. I just want to be champions. That's it.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and then the second question is slightly less controversial. It's about Arteta, and it has to be about Arteta. And look, I'm not even gonna bother with the Aubameyang because form is it's obviously on bad form, but he's class. I know he's class. He'll come good again, so it is what it is. But regarding Arteta, Kish, we'll start with you first, right? Just quickly, how important do you think this game is for him? Because at the moment, 5 losses, if I'm not mistaken, 4 wins. Hypothetically speaking, it does look if he is to lose this game, 6 losses, and he's literally in 15th, 16th.
I still think Arsenal will be loyal in terms of the board. Where I doubt they'll sack him before the end of the season. I think he'll definitely get till the end of the season to see where he's at. Because say hypothetically, if they come like 10th in the league and win the FA Cup again, then it's going to be one of them where the board will probably still be happy. over that. Do you know what I mean? So I think give him till the end of the season. But however, I do remember the beginning. I think was it Moose that mentioned if he loses this game heavily? Was it yourself that said this? Well, anyways, if he loses this game heavily, then of course he will be a dead man walking, and there'll be a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
But I doubt they'll make that sort of hasty decision until the end of the season. I'd be shocked if they sacked him before the end of the season, in my opinion, at least.
But hopefully for everyone else to keep him in it, because he hasn't got a clue what he's doing in it, like Ollie. So it's all good in it. Hopefully Arteta in. I'm sure you guys are saying Ollie in as well in it. So it's kind of even down. But listen, Kojo, let's get our score predictions in, and they can pour us off about Man United losing PSG's yesterday. So Kojo, what are your thoughts, brother? What's his score prediction? You've heard what they've said. You know, what's his score predictions?
Yeah, Spurs 3-0.
Wow.
Oh
Smart
my
man.
God. I'm the only one that's even on.
You don't care. You don't care.
No, that's a fair prediction. That's fair.
Right. Okay. I've gone for a draw. I'm going to say 2-2. I just think for some reason Arsenal.
You think Arsenal are going to score 2 goals?
I know.
Yeah, I think 1-1's more realistic. 1-1's more realistic.
Listen,
Who's assisting? Who's assisting these goals?
Don't worry, man. Saka's on this team.
Doozy.
Yo, listen. Hey. I think you guys actually misunderstood me about Guendouzi. Legit misunderstood me. But all right. That's not what I'm saying.
You tell him, Moose. Don't have it. Moose.
Nah. Listen. Guendouzi's quality, bro. Say what you like, but the guy's quality. Wow.
I'll give you a
Yeah, he's quality on loan, bro.
Yeah, he's quality on loan. He's doing a good job. Look, 2-2, probably a bit deluded, but Arsenal Spurs, these games never make sense. In my history of watching this game, it's never made sense. Spurs could be doing dog shit and somehow they'll get a result. And obviously, it's just every single time it's too unpredictable. So I know what I'm assuming the Arsenal players will be up for it because, as you guys have already said, Arteta's job potentially could be online. So I'm going to go 2-2. We'll see what happens. Obviously, 3-0, quite confident. We're going to move on to Manchester United. We'll rattle through the rest of the fixtures. Man United taking on West Ham. We'll let you start. You can mention, obviously, Man United losing to PSG as well if you want to take a dig. It's so good in it. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what? Yeah, I can't really take a dig in it because at the end of the day, it's PSG, it's Champions League, and also I didn't watch it, so I can't really say anything.
To summarize, Fred Hood headbutted to us, didn't get sent off for some reason. The referee let us off. Ollie thought, fuck it, let the referee have another chance of sending him off. Left him on the pitch. Eventually got sent off. We missed 3 1-on-1s, including 2 open heads. Cavani hit the bar, and then they scored. And then Ollie's like, shit, I need to make a sub. Fred gets sent off, then makes a sub, and then they scored again. So to summarize, we're basically shit. But
shambles.
Yeah, it's basically shambles. We should have won, but we bottled it. But what do you reckon? Obviously, Lawless is going to be watching this at some point, so you got to be nice to him as well. What do you reckon?
No. It's gonna be a tough game for you guys because obviously West Ham is having the season of their life right now. Like in the same way that we're playing terrible, they're playing really good. So they're gonna give you a real game, and it could very easily be a draw. I'm not gonna lie to that. So I'm not even trying to cuss you guys or anything, but West Ham, because
where's Humble Ahmed come from? What's going on, man?
Bro, there is when I came. When I came on this channel, I was gassed in it because obviously I thought I'd be on it like one time, but if I'm here every week, bro, I'm gonna be accountable for what I say in it. So end of the day, Man United will struggle against West Ham, but you could easily nick it in the end. So it could be a draw. It could be could be a 2-1. I don't even know, to be fair, man. That one, if it's a draw, it won't surprise me. If you guys win, I won't be surprised either. It's one of them ones.
Forward, what do you reckon? He's going for a draw or is cheeky and might not penalty winner?
It's for me, that's it's one of those things where I still can't believe in 2020 Fergie's briberies are still going through. Like these direct debits have not stopped, and they tried everything in with Fred. The amount of penalties you guys get, West Ham right now are kind of doing the best they're kind of doing, I think, for a long time. They're kind of consistent. They're doing well. I think they'll give you lot a game. I hope they win 2-1, but I know some way, somehow, Varchester will get a penalty and Bruno will bag one some way, somehow. So you lot will win 2-1. Somehow.
Listen, I'll take anything at the moment. Listen, Kish, what do you reckon? Obviously, we've got a couple of Salty fans over here about the penalties, you know, it is what it is.
Bro, if we had the rest on the payroll, I would not be like this.
Listen, even if you guys had the ref on the payroll,
do you know what? It's funny, because everyone used to say VAR was first supporting Spurs when it first came out. Yeah,
yeah.
Now to see it at United, yeah, it's bro. The evidence is too damning. I'm sorry.
It is, isn't it?
It's true. Listen, it is what it is. At the end of the day, if people want to take our players out and give us penalties on them, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's not our play. It's not our fault you can't handle us, innit, coach? It's not our fault. Do you know what I'm saying? Listen, Kish, what do you reckon? West Ham against Manchester United. West Ham at the moment, you know, they're looking good, to be fair to them.
Well, it's usually a good game, West Ham v Man United. There's always goals in that. None of the teams can defend, in my opinion. Both teams can score goals. So I can see that being a draw, an entertaining draw as well, 2-2. Again, it's a tough one for United, because even the PSG game, I watched that, and United were attacking wise, they were fantastic. They just didn't take their chances, and that happens. And that's a game where you could actually generally say that Ollie did cost you the game. It was the manager that cost you that game. Although the players missed the chances, it was the manager that cost you the game with the decisions that he made, really. Because even before that sending off, you were well in that game. You were still creating opportunities. In fact, as soon as Pogba came on, he nearly scored an absolute banger. And you still, but this is what I mean. So you're still well in that game against the PSG team that are struggling. So the goals are there. It's just the fact that you can't defend. So I can see that being an entertaining 2-2 draw.
Oof, bloody hell. All right, Jordan, what do you reckon?
I actually agree with Kish. Actually, I think I'm going 3-3. I think it'll be 3-3. I don't, a bit like Spurs. I don't trust West Ham, and I just think that I can't quite work out why they're doing well. I don't know if it's just a weird year. I've watched them quite a bit, and I just can't work out. Are they great defensively? No.
Yeah.
A really good attack? No. Is the midfield? I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. And it's David Moyes in charge. So I'm like, what's going on here? I think there'll be a lot of goals.
It's 2020, brother. Don't worry about it.
It must be that. It must be that. But I think this will be a high scoring draw. And just a point on Martial as well. I remember saying pre-season that all the talk about buying a striker and United is like, no, we need Sancho, no, we need a centre back, which were important issues to address for sure. I would say you need someone like Cavani, because all the Martial fanboys, and I think Martial's very, very talented, but all the Martial fans, no, Martial can score 25 goals for us. He ain't the guy. He's not the guy. And I think Cavani in 2 games has shown.
I've said this from day one.
Yeah. Martial and all the Martial fanboys.
Bro,
he's talented.
Bro, can I just add on that as well? Yeah, do you remember like when it was maybe 2-3 years back when Jose was there and Martial had his first debut season? It went well, and Jose brought in Zlatan the next year, and everybody said, "Oh, that stunted his growth or whatever." And it's like, bro, we've gone almost 3 years since then. And now he's let a 33-year-old Cavani come in and take his place. Because let's not act like it's Martial hasn't had opportunities. He's had 10 games and had no goals. For me, it's right now, he's in his 5th year at United. He should be firing on all cylinders, coming off your best season last year. There should be no excuses for Tony Martial right now. I think Martial FC or whatever it is, I think some people were saying it's officially dead. It's over. United fans need to get real with this guy. Cavani is it. Cavani is it.
The thing is, I think Martial is the perfect example of talent versus output. So I don't have time for players that have mad talent, but their output is lame.
You know what?
There's lots of players.
He epitomizes United right now. Like there's a lot of ability and talent there, but it's so consistently inconsistent. You don't know what you're gonna get week to week.
You know what my problem with Martial at times has been, I've always said that he plays one certain style and he loves to get the ball to feet all the time. And I always say, as a striker, your game needs to vary. Even the best strikers, it wasn't always ball to feet, even if that was their biggest strength. Sometimes it was imposing yourself in a different way to get goals. If you're a striker and you are a goal scorer, you will find ways to always score goals. Cavani's movement is there. He can hold the ball up. He can link up play. The type of goals, I haven't seen any United player score a diving header in yonkers.
Yeah, that's true.
In yonkers.
If you're talking about ability, Martial's got much more ability than Cavani. Much more ability.
I believe so.
Yeah,
But I tell you the difference. The difference is Cavani's output is on. His numbers are on the board.
Application.
His application is crazy. His application is crazy. So
another one is the game that United played against Southampton. There was a stat which showed that Martial, Rashford, and Greenwood in that game, not a single one of them was inside the box for any of the chances.
Yeah,
as soon as Cavani comes on, the majority of his time was inside that box.
Yeah.
And what does he do? He scores 2 goals. Now,
because
exactly.
because Martial doesn't have that. I don't know whether it's because when he was younger, he started as a striker. I don't know whether it was because he went to the left side and then he lost his instincts that he had as a kid. Because as a kid, he was looking cold. From Monaco, I know you're a young guy. You know your game's going to develop anyway. But at that age, he was doing wonderful things for them. So he was signed, and you could see why he was signed. Under Van Gaal, first season as a pure striker, he was doing his thing, scoring goals. But then he went left wing. I don't know if he lost that instinct, but for my striker, as much as I love him, I do love him. I just want him to get that instinct.
It's that instinct, and yeah, that Cavani first goal that he scored, the Cavani against Southampton.
Exactly.
If you watch the goal back, right, and you watch Van der Beek's his body positioning, he hasn't got that instinct. Cavani's running onto it. Van der Beek's gonna practically duck it or something. It looks like he's almost shocked that the ball's arriving. Cavani's in the position straight away, and he's got to show the distance of the ball as well. So
the problem is, I agree with you. I mean, I know Paul Scholes, since he's retired, chats a lot of shit in his punditry. But yesterday, him, Rio, and Gary Lineker summarised it quite well. The fact that with Cavani making those runs and making those movements, Zlatan 3 years ago, you would have thought would have had that sort of impact on the players to kind of follow suit, because that's what Zlatan's so good at. But they've not. It's been 3 years now since Zlatan left, and they've not learnt from that. So they debated whether you can teach that or if it just comes naturally. And I just feel that with Martial and Rashford in particular, you can't teach that. I don't think them two players personally will want to learn that. Whereas Greenwood, for me, I think Greenwood for you guys in the future will definitely be like your number 9 in my opinion. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, no, I think regarding the Greenwood thing, I think in terms of a natural striker, I think that's a good point. Like, you saw his goal against RB Leipzig. That was his first shot in the Champions League. Man, wasn't even a chance. Like, it was half chance on his technically weaker foot, runs across and just puts it away. Like, in terms of finishing, Greenwood's the best. I just think with Martial, I think you guys nailed it in terms of his inconsistency. That's the more him and Rashford, they both fall in this category. They've got ability in abundance, but you just don't know which one's going to turn up on the day. Like against RB Leipzig, again, I'm not one for stats, but against RB Leipzig, Martial initiated the press 20 times, which was the most of any player on the pitch. And to affiliate those kind of statistics with him is like, you wouldn't ever associate that because he gets labeled lazy.
Those are Firmino stats, bro.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if the manager forced him to do the pressing, he has got that in him. But I feel like some of it, his game, all he needs to be harsh on him. If he's not making that running behind, he needs to drag him off and put Greenwood up top. Like, change it. You've got to put pressure on him. And at the moment, Cavani's come in, and as you guys have said, he said to him, "This is how a striker plays." And it's good for Martial. This is a good learning curve for him. The Zlatan one was a bit younger, so I give him benefit of doubt. But this Cavani one, if it doesn't wake him up, then he's not good enough. As simple as that. This should make you hungry.
I don't think you move Martial on. I think he's got a place in the squad. I just don't think you make him the guy. He's just not the guy that's going to win you a Premier League.
Well, to be fair, I wanted Haaland.
Thing is he's being paid like he's the guy now. That's the problem.
That's true.
He's being paid. What is it? 5 years, 250 grand a week or something.
Bro, don't trust me. Let's not talk about wages in Man United. Trust me, it's a long discussion. Trust me. I don't want to do that today. I don't want to do that today. I'm in a good mood.
It's absolutely ruined. So
isn't Phil Jones on like 3 bags or something stupid?
Allow it.
Or like a 9-year deal or something.
Yeah, man's had about 120 grand. He's got testimony next year. He's living the life.
Yeah.
Phil Jones in.
Phil Jones, he got ruined by Hazard and not come back. Hazard spun him in that cup final and he's not come back since that day. But listen, Koji, let's get our score prediction and then we'll go to a Liverpool game. Koji, what's your score prediction for Man United?
For West Ham,
I'm gonna say... you said 3-1, mate. Actually,
but then we got spun by PSG. So I say if we did the spinning, that I go and smack them 4. But we got the spinning, so 2-1. That's what I'm going for.
I just logic, innit?
Yesterday, Cody said 3-1 before the PSG game. we done a thingy. No.
Hey, Usmaan, lie, man. Lie. They don't know.
Sorry.
They don't know. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, expose it, fam.
No, I can't even 2-0. Got comment from Daniel as well, which regarding the Martial thing, just to put that on quickly. The reason Giroud starts off at Martial for France is because he hustles. The hustle beats talent. When talent don't hustle, Martial ain't hustling. Simple. Listen, Giroud for me is the most underrated player.
I rated him. I rated him.
I don't even know why you sold him at Arsenal. He would have been.
Obvious.
Now, yeah.
The best. He was the best bench boy. Do you remember when
Arsenal fans used to say? Do you remember when Arsenal fans used to say, "Yeah, Giroud was the one that ruined Ozil, not breaking that massive record."
You used to slate him. You guys used to slate him.
Hanging out my club. And now they wanted Lacazette in. It's been 5 years into that relationship, and they've seen nothing has come of it but a receding hairline. And it's like, oh, you want Giroud back all of a sudden?
Who are you talking about, though? Who are you talking about?
Arsenal fans in general. I'm just talking about Arsenal fans in general.
Talk about me, G. I'm here. I never called him. I never called him.
That is such a lie, man.
Are you saying? You never ever.
You know me. You know my boys. Yeah. I'll give you all their numbers, fam. What do you mean?
Never said you wanted
to verify me.
Here's the thing. I've always seen Giroud for what he is. The problem with Arsenal fan base is most of them are idiots. Most of them they're just dumb. The problem was that Giroud came, I think it was the year after Van Persie left. So the issue was people still had Van Persie in their head. And because Giroud wasn't Van Persie, he got a lot of heat. But the reason why I never ever gave Giroud heat was because I understood what Giroud was. Giroud was never going to be Van Persie. He's never going to score you 30 goals. Absolutely. He's never going to. But if you see him for what he is, you'll never get pissed. So he will miss a few one-on-ones. He'll miss a few tap-ins because he's not Van Persie.
Don't rely on him.
But what he brings, though, coming off the bench, that hold up and link up play. And he's guaranteeing you maybe, let's say, 12 goals a season.
He always got 12 to 15
guaranteed goals. And it will be in big moments, big games, and also, when you need it.
And also as well, Fred, as well, people forget that we had to get rid of Giroud to get Aubameyang.
Yeah. So Aubameyang was to replace Sanchez.
Because remember, Lacazette and Aubameyang came within 6 months of each other.
Exactly.
You ran out of money to get Johnny Lacazette. He hated. I remember in that window.
This in a while up there, you know what I'm saying? The man's out to the celebration in a while. That man's are dead out here. But listen, I said 2-2 Lacazette double. It's all good, man. You heard it first. Right. Anyways, let's finish off with a couple of the games. I'm trying to share admin, obviously.
I know.
I don't have a clue who anyone else is playing.
So there's actually one of the games is going to be really interesting, to be honest. So it's Chelsea against Leeds. Leeds could be a good game, you know.
Right, Ford, we'll start with you first. Leeds. What do you reckon, Chelsea Leeds?
It's a big game. That's a good game.
Leeds are very open. I think they're very weak at the back, and I think Chelsea's attack is way too strong for them. I think this will kind of be the exposure game for Bielsa. I like to think. I think his Bielsa ball will finally get opened up and carved up. I think Chelsea win comfortably, 3-1.
I was going to go something similar. Ahmed, what do you reckon?
Yeah, well, I know that Chelsea's going to win, but it could be either 3-1 or 3-2. We don't know about the margins, but I think Leeds will give them a good game. But like my man said, Chelsea's going to hit them back to reality. That's what Chelsea does. They don't struggle against the low blocks like most of the other big clubs do. So.
I thought you're going to take a thing off Man United then.
No, everyone actually, because obviously everyone's suspect when it comes to like certain games in it. But Chelsea, they kind of like they have their phases, but they normally turn up anyways. But I won't say 3-0. I'll say like 3-1 or 3-2. Too fair, but yeah.
Say no more. We got one comment Leeds. Cage, what do you reckon? We got one guy putting Leeds 1-0.
This is
not keeping a clean sheet.
Yeah, this is not a good game for Bielsa. He plays a high press and he plays a high line, and against that Chelsea team, especially with their attack, it's going to be curtains. I can see it being 4-1 Chelsea, to be honest.
Oh bloody hell! Okay, fair enough. Right, okay, 4-1 there, Jordan. What do you reckon?
I disagree with that. I think Chelsea win, but I think it's going to be close.
Yeah,
I think it'll be close. I think. I can see 2 late Chelsea goals. I think 2-0 Chelsea, but I can see it being late. I can see 2 really late goals, Chelsea wearing them down. So I don't think it'll be comfortable at all. But I think Chelsea will win.
All right, okay, fair enough. Everyone's got Chelsea at the moment. Kojo, you're gonna stir it up a bit, or what?
Hell no, I don't like Leeds. We don't like Leeds over here. No, but honestly, I think this plays right into Chelsea's hands because the way Leeds defend is quite scary at times as well. So I'm gonna actually go for a 4 or 5-1.
Wow.
5-1.
I think they're gonna ship goals.
I've just sold habits of not habits. We're on fancy football, so that might be a mistake. Right. I'm gonna go 3-2 Chelsea. Actually, I think it's gonna be a very good game in terms of end to end. I think Chelsea's just gonna have a bit too much quality from. Kish, who Liverpool got this weekend?
It's another good game. Liverpool Wolves. So that could be interesting. Could be interesting that because Wolves don't really concede many goals either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they keep it tight.
We come to the Arsenal fans first, innit? Because obviously you got the experience of Wolves playing.
I just shut up. I was gonna say something juicy to you, man. I'm not gonna say it now. I'm not gonna say it now.
All right, that lost Raul Jimenez.
Usman, did you say Podence? Crazy.
I think I said Neto and Podence.
Crazy. Sorry, my bad.
Listen, obviously, first and foremost, we've already said it straight after on Monday. Speedy recovery to Jimenez. I've just got to throw this in here. Hardly been mentioned, but Van Dijk, you thought Van Dijk died. That's all I'm going to say. My man actually got a very serious injury. Obviously, Jimenez, life-threatening, career-threatening. Hardly mentioned. Van Dijk gets the injury. It's happened to many footballers. And there's been a petition about 7 days later, and it is what it is. But listen, Jordan, what do you reckon? Wolves against Liverpool. Liverpool still a lot of players out.
I think Liverpool, comfortable win. 3-0. 3-0 Liverpool win.
Oh, okay.
I think they win this quite easily, actually. And I rate Wolves. I think Wolves are a serious team. But I think Liverpool kind of breeze past this one.
All right, we got everyone backing Wolves in the comments here. Kojo, what do you reckon?
I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Damn, 1-1 draw. Come on, you Spurs from bits and bobs. Ahmed, what do you reckon? Liverpool, obviously, I was saying, you've seen Wolves recently. What do you reckon?
Jota, that's all I'm going to say. So, Liverpool, 2-0.
Oh, it's fair. Fawad, have you given your a score for this one?
I'd go 1-1 draw as well. I think Liverpool, they're starting to kind of feel the impact of the injuries. And Wolves, I think they're just going to struggle for goals outside of Jimenez consistently now. Possibly. Yeah. I think Fabio Silva's got kind of big boots to fill. I like the kid. I hope he does well, but
it's a lot of money that they paid for him as well. He's only like 18, isn't it?
It is. I just hope he doesn't end up like Cutrone, was it 2 seasons ago when they signed him from Milan? But I think this will be a 1-1 draw for me. And I hope it kind of stays that way for us.
Right, Kish, we've got another question here from Daniel that's going to cause problems. I'll ask you on this one. Kish, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it's going to be one of me and you always say this. I can see a jammy Liverpool goal in the last 10 minutes. I can see it being well poised, Wolves having all the opportunities, and then Salah Mane just popping up with a worldie. One chance, one goal. I can see it being 2-1 Liverpool, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got the exact same thing. Yeah. Wolves going to be all over them. Liverpool, I can't stand Liverpool fans. Listen, it is what it is. They'll win 2-1 somehow. I've got a comment here from Daniel, who's obviously a regular on this. I've got to ask it to you guys, innit? Because he's put it in there. I just want to know. Jordan will come with you. Would you swap over Kane? Obviously, he's not on about just now because form is temporary and all that. But in general, what are your thoughts, Jordan?
All day. It's not even a question. All day.
Right, okay.
He knows ball. He knows ball.
Because Jordan's my guy. Hey, Moose, what are you saying?
He knows ball.
Moose, I should have asked you first. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you should ask me first. Yeah, obviously, only because of the age. Only because of the age. Walk up. No other reason. If they're the same age, you're mad.
So Kane doesn't have more tools in his box.
Nah, well, obviously, it's more like, you can do other things, but you can't replace the pace, bro. You can't replace that.
So you're swapping pace for passing ability, clinical finishing, great link-up play, great hold-up play, leadership.
Just passing. That's all I heard. And obviously, I'll take pace over clinical finishing.
Change your headphones, bro. Change your headphones. I don't know what you heard.
How would I be sacrificing pinnacle
Don't do
finishing
that.
for
It's
Kane.
not just
Are you
Kane.
mad? Are you mad? Listen, you realize, since Aubameyang joined the Premier League, Kane scored more goals than Kane. So already better than Kane.
Bro!
So
Hey,
all right. Wait. And he's younger. Oh, I take it back then. I'll never. I'll keep it Aubameyang.
You know what? Die on that hill.
I'm the king of the hill, bro. I don't mind.
Oh my
I don't mind.
Oh, my shit, man said he's John God. Take it back then. Oh my.
Bruce, what are you doing?
What is this, man?
Hey.
Obviously, and then my man.
The thing is, Aubameyang's a rude boy. He's a bad boy. His record is stupid.
Bro, you gotta respect
top
it.
Striker.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Having said all of that, I don't think it's even close. Harry Kane is probably the most complete number 9 in world football, and I put Lewandowski on a par with him. Lewandowski on a madness. Harry Kane has got everything. Everything. I've said that for years.
Amen.
For a while, for a little while, between him and Aguero,
Agree. I feel like 2020 split. I feel like this year in 2020, with Aguero's injuries, I'm not having seen
Aguero's
done. Kane's evolution and this next level of meanwhile, Oba now has secured the bag and just said, safe you, man.
Man's gonna be joining.
Say no more.
On that duos on
Say no more.
Usmaan, we need to add these guys onto that chat because there's that Chelsea fan in it that needs to hear these facts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the chat. We're not talking about it. Chelsea fan don't rate Kane. It is what it is, isn't it? But listen, Kish, is there any other games we need to talk about? I don't think there is.
The final one, and again, it's going to be a cricket score. I'm going to triple captain De Bruyne for this. Man City against Fulham at home.
Bob Morris. Why are we even talking about this? This is obviously a Lookman penalty win. There's not really much point talking about this one. Right, let's just talk about Man City briefly, and we'll keep it very short. Koji, Man City, the finish, what your thoughts? Some people saying they're dead out of here. Pep's having to rebuild the team. This is Spurs here. What are your thoughts on that, man?
I don't like them. I don't like them at all. They're scum. But they're winning this game easily. They're doing okay for themselves. They're doing okay. They're trying to bounce back, try to get back in the title race. Right now, they're not about it. But as you've seen in this Premier League, a very, very poor Man United that's been spun by Crystal Palace and by people in this chat. They're 5 points off top of a game in hand to go 2 points. So sooner or later, you'll see City back up there anyway. So yeah, I concur. I think this is going to be so peak. 6 is actually what I can see happening. It's gonna be a long day for them. It's gonna be a long day.
Listen, I'm not even gonna dwell on this game. I'm gonna wrap it there because no one gives a shit about Man City. Let's be real. No, Oil FC. There's no.
Wait. Sorry, one thing. I wouldn't be sure about triple captain KDB because doesn't Pep like to just rotate out of nowhere?
Can't come in here. He's not playing this game.
He didn't play. He didn't play though in the midweek game against.
Listen, I've got Mahrez, so that means Mahrez is getting benched.
Just saying, innit?
Daniel just said this isn't Denmark.
Exactly. So I have to triple captain him.
Fair enough.
Listen, look, we're gonna wrap it there. Obviously, first and foremost, just want to say a massive thank you to our guests. Listen, I was absolutely creasing. Ahmed, you just made my night with doing some of the comments. But listen, make sure you show the boys love from the Arsenal side. We've got Moose and Jordan. Obviously, Jordan, we'll start with you, brother. Just shout out your socials. Where can they find you?
Our socials _ Jordan J Brian. My surname Jarrett Brian on Instagram. _ Jordan J Brian on Twitter. And yeah, man, hit me up.
Yeah, hit him up. And also, Moose, where can they find you, brother? Obviously, if the people want more. People want more delusion. I'm joking. The people want more.
You can come on my podcast, Moose. Come on my podcast. We'll have some fun.
We'll do something to that. But Instagram is @wasami3, and obviously Twitter is @wasami92. Or just hit me up on Facebook. I'm old school. I'm Ahmed Wasami.
Yeah, and also he's got a Bebo and MSN as well. If you can hit him up on them as well.
On my face.
Oh, my sorry.
Don't forget
Fuad, where can they find you, brother?
At Fuad Kidani on Instagram, on Twitter, at Stoppage Time TV on Instagram and Twitter as well.
Yeah, make sure you check out the interview with Carlton Cole as well. When I say elite content, I'm talking Harry Kane level.
These man, you're doing your thing still. You're doing your thing still.
Class A Kane. Sure.
Jokes aside, that was elite content.
I appreciate it, bro, man. Love.
So
we got more coming, trust me.
Listen, make sure you check them out because obviously they're always dropping the flipping bombs on there. But listen, Kish, last but not least, where can they find you, man?
Yeah, Keishandu on Twitter or Instagram.
Say no more. Listen, and last but not least, my course, to be fair, me and Cole just been sat smiling. No one took the piss at Man United for one show. You know, we survived with one show. It's all good. Cole, where can they find you, brother?
Yeah, you can find me at Free Midfield on Twitter, Free Midfield Podcast on YouTube, and all the other audios. But you know what? To be honest, I'm a podcast host. You'll find me everywhere. So just hit me up.
Listen, this pod would go to about 2 hours if we keep asking Cole for shout outs. Listen, make sure you drop that subscribe to the channel. Huge thank you to our guests. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. We'll be back on Monday, as always, with the reaction. Hopefully, Moose actually turns up this time, even if his team loses.
I'll be there.
Peace.